At 6:50 on a Tuesday, let's dive right into it.
It's time for the 6 at 6 on 95.7 KCMO Talk Radio. Number 1.
Well, let's start on the sports front. Bobby Witt saying no thanks to the 2025 Home Run Derby, and I can't blame him. He did it last year. Good for him. That's not something that when you're a superstar, frankly, I think you should be doing every year. He was asked about it, and he said, nope, not doing it. When asked if he would be participating in the Home Run Derby, he said he was not asked to enter his name into the Derby this year. And he said he is excited to watch the event up close, but only as a spectator. Is anybody upset that Bobby Witt Jr. is not partaking in the Home Run Derby? I feel like it just screws up these guys' swings, too, in the second half of the year.
I think it's fun if he wants to, but if he doesn't want to, it's not a big deal.
I'm totally okay with that. So good on Bobby for deciding he's going to skip that one this year.
Number 2.
Next up, well, speaking of the Royals and players, let's go to a former player. Frank White, the recall effort moves forward. Yesterday, Jackson County Legislature approves an ordinance and a resolution doubling down, putting the Frank White recall effort on the ballot for August 26th. That is a Tuesday. Of course, there will be people flooding to the polls for that. There still are potential legal challenges to come, as Sean Smith noted earlier this hour. However, we'll move forward and we'll plan for August 26th being the day that Frank White could end up being recalled and removed as the county executive in Jackson County, Missouri.
Number 3.
Kansas officially extending its star bond offer to the Chiefs and the Royals yesterday. That meeting took place, and now we sit here and we wait. They have given an arbitrary deadline to the teams of December 31st, so end of this year, 2025. Please, I could see this thing coming up to like the 11 o'clock hour on New Year's Eve. Instead of a countdown for the new year, we'll be doing a countdown on the star bond offer expiring. 10, 9, 8, 7. And Mark Donovan standing there and John Sherman standing there. 6, 5, 4. What are you guys doing? I mean, I could see that happening.
Then it hits midnight, and then they're like, oh, I guess July 1st.
Yeah. Yes. That's exactly how this process would play out with the way this thing's been going. July 1st, 26. We're off to the races, boys. Let's go. Oh, my goodness. I'll just end it if that happens. I mean, I'm going to have to work my back channels to make sure this thing is wrapped up here in the next couple of months because this is just out of control. But it also was to be expected, right? When the team said we had a deadline of the end of June, it was just there because that's what the deadline was for the Kansas Star Bonds. Missouri runs back to Jeff City, passes this massive state incentive package, and the team's like, yeah, about that. Gonna need a little more time. I know no one in the Missouri legislature is going to say it because they want to retain the teams, but they look like a horse's ass too as well. Like, let's just be honest. Okay, everybody looks awful here in all this. It's a bad look all the way around, but it's how we all predicted this thing was going to play out.
Number 4.
Next up in our 6 at 6 here on KCMO, how about this news? TSA announcing that most travelers will no longer need to take their shoes off at the airport for the first time in 20 years. Let's go. Woo! Now, as a pre-check guy, I have not taken my shoes off in quite some time. Unless there was that one time a couple of years ago, I forgot to put my pre-check number on my boarding pass, and then I had to go through regular security. But this is, I know, going to be welcomed for millions of travelers, that you will not have to take your shoes off at the airport. TSA has begun to drop that requirement for travelers to remove shoes, according to a source familiar with the matter who spoke on the condition of anonymity to the New York Times. There have since been multiple reports from TSA confirming that this is going to be happening. So this has been going on since 2006, nearly 5 years after 9/11. And also, this was nearly 5 years after a terrorist tried to detonate an explosive in his shoe while aboard an American Airlines flight from Paris to Miami, people have been having their shoes checked. But we now know, when you're going through TSA, my gosh, we've been putting people on the moon for 60 years now. You're telling me you've got to take off your shoes to figure out and make sure that there's nothing in them? It felt very antiquated, and it felt very forced and a way to make people feel safe. And it seems like TSA is going to be putting that by the wayside. So some very good news there.
Number 5.
Now, on some not so good news, we know that ICE has been dealing with increased scrutiny and also increased assaults. Assaults on ICE officers are up 690%. There was an incident down in Texas in Alvarado, and we now know that 11 people are facing charges after a planned ambush on an ICE facility in Alvarado, where a group intended to kill ICE corrections officers has now moved forward. So 11 people arrested after this planned ambush on an ICE facility took place on July 4th. And they're not messing around down there in Texas. So that is some welcome news, and that is where a message needs to be sent as ICE officers continue to deal with increases in assaults for doing the job that Congress, based on the laws, allows them to do.
Number 6.
And I've gotten emails about this. People have been wondering what is going on with the Buc-ee's here in Kansas City. Well, construction on the first Buc-ee's convenience store in Kansas has been delayed. A spokesperson for the company confirmed to Fox 4 that construction will not begin until late August or early September. The $95 million project was originally set to begin at the end of June, and now we're looking at end of August, early September start date, and it will take about 2 years. It will be located right next to the Speedway, and it's unclear at this point what prompted that delay. There is your 6 at 6 on KCMO.